Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Coffee Review, or MCR, as we've been calling it lately. I'm Jason Hartley, joined here as always with Michael Achave, and today is July 8th, and we're going to talk about some stuff around Bluebeam. But as always, how are you doing today, Michael?
Good, good. Excited to talk about some more things. Just so everyone's aware, Jason will not be in next week. He will be out. We have a leadership summit that he'll be out enjoying some conversations, strides forward. I don't know. What do you want?
Getting locked in a room for 12 hours a day, having conversations it's not the retreat that they make it out to be, but it's still really engaging and it will zap my brain power for sure, but that's okay. You can hold the fort down, not a problem at all. But I mentioned that today we're going to talk about some stuff with Bluebeam, but I think we might go beyond. Once that the words came out, I figured we'd deviate a bit. Our topic today is we got a couple of them. The blueprint bottleneck, right? Why your review process is slowing projects down. Project review pitfalls, however you want to call it. The review process for construction documents, doesn't matter if architecture, civil, structural, MEP, whatever, that process has evolved greatly over the past 25 years or so. And we're going to break that down, talk about some of the issues that you've had, kick out any AI people, and then we'll go from there.
Are you going to kick the AI out there? I don't see the AI in here. Oh, there it is.
Sorry.
That was quick.
So yeah, we don't like AI over here. We use it ourselves, but not when we're recording content. So project review pitfalls. Where have we started? Where have we gone? What's going on right now? What are my options? I'm saying this as I'm reviewing some scanned red lines with scanned highlighters in raster format in Bluebeam, and my heart hurts, everybody. It hurts so much. It doesn't have to be like this anymore. While I'm thankful I don't have the desk space or the cubicle space to lay out a full-size set of plans anymore, we've come a long way. It doesn't have to be like this, right? So for those who haven't been in the industry forever, in the days of horse blanket paper, let me paint you a very ugly picture of a young Jason who smelled of ammonia and from
Why ammonia?
Blueprint, the blueprint machines, the Diazo machines, right?
I was never around those. So
and pen plotters.
I know what a pen plotter is. We used to have one at our the structural firm I used to work at. Yeah,
where there's an actual pen that would come like robot arm.
And that's why you had the pen plot styles for AutoCAD. Yeah, I remember.
That's why certain fonts had to be a certain size because it couldn't print certain. Couldn't go down so low. But we would print out giant pieces of paper as drafters or designers and give them off to an engineer or architect for them to mark up and review, and they would write things down. They'd give it back to you. You'd do the work. You'd highlight that you were done. And then you would give it back to them with a new piece of paper so that they've got the piece of paper that they drew on and the new piece of paper that shows the changes that you've made. And we're talking, most civil stuff's 36 by 24 back then. They didn't move to 34 by 22 till early 2000s.
Yeah. It was when they had the pen plot styles.
Yeah, and then architects have always liked the 40 by 32, something like that. But we'd have these giant pieces of paper and we'd mark it up and we'd just waste and waste and waste, not just trees but also time. Nowadays, more firms have moved to 11 by 17s. You still got to print it. They're still drawing on them, but I just like the tactical feeling of my pen on the paper. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but it doesn't have to be like this. So we're going to go through some of the pitfalls with adopting a digital review platform. Now, depending on where the time goes today, it could be all Bluebeam review, but I could see us getting to ACC as well. There are a couple different collaboration platforms that allow for real-time markups and communication, and
guess you gotta open ACC.
Open it up. I'm also looking over here at my notepad where I scribble down notes, and I'm realizing my handwriting is not what it used to be. Um, as somebody who is trained in architectural drafting, I used to have really good handwriting and penmanship. But
Yeah, if you don't remember, folks, Jason
oh
wanted to be a licensed architect.
yeah, looking at my chicken scratch and seeing that everybody else's chicken scratch is getting worse too. Hopefully, when we're talking about doing markups on paper, there's more opportunity for misspellings, for miscommunication, for wrong numbers to be put in there. Digital gives you yet another reason to protect your drawings and your design intent.
100%.
So we'll start in Bluebeam. We'll fire up review, and we'll pull up some plans, and we'll talk about maybe how we want to how do we want to approach a design review. What do you look for?
So there's a couple of things, right? The old, and even when you were talking about paper and let's go a little step forward in the digital age. One step forward would be emailing reviews. That was definitely a bottleneck. So instead of relying on emails, right, and then you have inconsistent markups, we'll get into the next steps of things that are issues, even then now being more in the digital world, which are not using like statuses or those things of that nature as well, right? Because even you saying that we had paper, digital, handing those over, or non-digital, handing those over, there was that iteration of digital where we weren't using like review or something like ACC as a solution, and we were still emailing for review, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, review this PDF set, and actually some people would print it out still and then review it. But yeah, so going back forward, what are some of the iterations and what can we do to expedite these in review? They have a great solution for that. And that solution would be using sessions for the not relying on email. But if you do need to email somebody, you can directly from review. So as long as you open the PDF set up, if you still are using email fashion after this conversation, please use the email button, Control E. That way you can email faster. Okay.
And that also is going to help you prevent that dreaded, I forgot the attachment. Hang on.
Yeah.
We've all done it. But Larkin put a good comment in the chat about the way things were and the way things are now. What's the difference? And Larkin says that things moved slower and we had time to produce good engineering back then. Also didn't have to follow up with architects to find out what they wanted in the title block all the time. It's true. Like things did seem to move a little slower. The rush didn't really hit until the day of plotting and you're running out of paper or running out of ink or having a misprint. It did seem to move a little slower and things were more thorough. Now everything is very rushed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
just everything in life.
Yeah. And along that vein, basically, you can initiate sessions. So talking about one review process, you do have the option to go through and create a studio session, which, by the way, you'll be able to control these better in your org admin when that is released. And I believe it's released now for the API portion, meaning that there's new API connectors this month. It started this month. And then the org admin will probably release a little bit before Unbound, I would assume. But let me name this session MCR. I guess we can just name it MCR because we don't have one anymore. They're all gone. Perfect. So here you can add your documents. I'll add this document here. And this would be you getting ready to do a review with somebody. You can also make it expire. So maybe you are the person sending it to somebody to review and you wanted to set an expiration date. So this actually gives you some additional access to restrict users at a certain point in time, or even restricting users by email address, which I will because I don't want this to live on YouTube and people just enjoying the session. And then session expiration date. So I'll hit OK. And then I'm going to do a review with Jason. So all I need to do right here is as it populates open is type in Jason's email address and it will send him an email. and he'll be able to join. But basically, what you're able to do is now review in here. And you can use your own statuses of reviewing, finish. You can even customize your own if you wanted. But once you've said you're finished here as well. But using this as the review process would be step one, right? And then the next one would be that people are missing would be inconsistent markups. So not using the right type of markups for the different type of review processes. So making sure you're having correct markups. Now there's some out of the box right here that they give you. So making sure when you're going through and actually marking up the PDF, you're using the correct color-coded markups or a correct style of markups for review. That way it's a clear indication that it's meant for review. You're not using like a typical line weight color that isn't noticeable as a review, right? As we talked about before, I think it was like last week that we were talking, review could be used as a design solution, but make sure you're not doing that during a review process, because if you do, no one's going to know that it was actually meant to be a markup, right? Because you could flatten it. What do you have, Jason?
I was sidetracked. I did it. I went over to the Bluebeam Partner Center just to make sure that we're playing by the rules, not saying things that we're not supposed to say. But I will say that tomorrow an email will be going out for those admins of accounts with 2 dates. There will be a release of the org admin platform on... Yep. It's like a couple days earlier if you are using a reseller like ATG for your licenses, but everybody will get the new org admin on July 29th. So potentially,
so it's even sooner.
Yeah, so it's coming up really soon. A couple things in there that I think is...
Well, you don't just get it.
Yeah.
You have to pay for it.
Yeah, well, some of it has the same portal that people have now, but there will be more things available to you behind a paywall. But one thing that I noticed on here that is worth mentioning, that's probably coming with the email, so it's spoiling the surprise for tomorrow. Historical licenses that are expired will not be migrated to the new platform. Therefore, if a user is tied to an expired contract when the account is migrated to the new org admin, that user will receive a "your subscription has expired" message in review. The org admin will show no license assigned to that user. So, fair warning, IT folks. Make sure you've got everything buckled up, your accounts are cleaned up, because once the new platform goes, you are potentially going to have some users that are going to freak out.
Wait, I don't get what restate that. What do you mean, please?
So, like, we still have licenses over Review 20. We still have licenses of other things. And sometimes, like, Michael, you have two, I'm going to say you have 3 licenses. You've got a perpetual license of 20 Extreme. You've got a license of this. You've got a license of that. When they move over, anything that was old, you might cause you to get an email saying, "Hey, Michael, your subscription expired," and you're going to flip out when you have what you need. It was just something old. So it'll be interesting. We should get access about the same time as all of you.
Well, I mean,
we'll be doing a lot.
Yeah, they said that they'll work on it for us. So really, which made no sense to me, but whatever. Because we can't demo it and show you all. So, because it's gonna be your own. It's gonna be your own. Ours is a little bit different looking. So we may not have that functionality, unfortunately. But they said they would work on it. So we'll see when we get it, if we're able to show you. If not, it's essentially just a sidebar. Like, I have some images of it. Maybe we shouldn't talk about it too much because, well, it's going to be the 29th.
The big thing is that you don't have to worry about is that the current admin portals are just going to redirect to the new site. It's not going to be a new website that you're going to have to figure out.
You're talking about Prime.
No, your normal portal.
Org admin. Oh, okay, yeah. Because we have one, but it shows a bunch of accounts. It's going to a new URL link. It's just going to push you there because it's going to be two parts in that org admin, which is going to be your own. And then you're also going to be able to go through and manage, if you want, things like Studio. There's going to be analytics in there as well. So Studio Access, and not just Studio Access in general, but also the ability to, if somebody departs using Studio Sessions, you have that ability to transfer that ownership. Analytics on projects and sessions, what's getting uploaded, just like you were able to in Prime. But the added benefit of like, hey, Jason has uploaded things to sessions that shouldn't be there. He is now not allowed to use Studio Sessions anymore.
Yeah. There are some things out there already on the support page for Bluebeam that could give you a little preview behind the curtain, but the link is up. It just still says forbidden until it's gone live. But one thing that we wanted to mention, that in pure squirrel format, traditional MCR style, there was an outage earlier last week. And this message just popped up on the support page. Bluebeam recently experienced a technical issue that temporarily prevented some users from accessing bluebeam.com domains. The underlying problem has been resolved. If you continue to experience issues, please try clearing your local DNS cache. For additional assistance, contact your internet provider. Okay. Thank you for your patience as we restore for full service. Same on. We didn't have any issues internally here at ATG, but I know a lot of our customers had a moment of flip out because they couldn't log into the software or cloud or anything. So that has been resolved. You got to clear your DNS cache, and it should work.
So what was the issue, I guess?
I don't know. They didn't really say.
I wonder if it had something to do with getting that portal up and running and the API switched. There's probably going to be a little bit, a couple bumps in the road as they switch a lot of their back end things to be more move forward. I mean, do you remember that week that Sessions was just out when they were trying to get the web access? You remember Studio Sessions?
Yep.
Okay, so that was once that I've ever experienced Sessions not being able to be accessed. So don't be fearful, I guess, as we're going into this review area. But anyways, okay, moving forward. So you can use this, and then also not using statuses. So be aware. Earlier, I was checking my statuses that I had saved to my profile. So a quick way of being able to have statuses shown for everybody would be to make sure whenever you're uploading it, the profile has it. So this does have that status. So people not using statuses during the review process as well. Make sure folks are using that when they're going through and doing their review. We don't need a ton of markups on top of another markup just to make sure that it's highlighted, right? So be aware of that. Also, a little bit sidebar here. There was a conversation before this started, and that was that ability to measure in a total length. So like you're doing multiple measurements and just get the total. So you can't do that with the length. So let me show that just to kind of reiterate that. You can't do this to get a total. You would use a polylink just to show kind of representation. You would do this, right? Segment, this segment, this segment, this segment, this segment, this one, and then you can get them all. So as you see it going through.
Well, I think the comment was more like a select all, which you already have included in your totals in your markups list. So if you had 12 different measurements saying they're the same thing, you already have that included in totals right there that's saying it's 43 feet.
Oh, okay. So there's one way to do it this way, but like Jason was saying, if you did separate just length measurements, you can add the length measurement itself as it's just whatever you name it. I guess if you were doing a total run of something, you would just need to name it whatever you want to get the total of, because you may have separate length measurements that don't incorporate into there to get a running total. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. But going back forward, statuses. What else do you have, Jason?
As far as pitfalls and mistakes that people are doing,
Yep.
and traps, I would say traps. Since you're on the topic of putting things in a studio session, not uploading the current documents and not maybe communicating what you expect from your review team. If you expect everybody to use statuses, you should probably tell them about it. You know, if you expect people to use the custom tool sets or anything that you might include with your session, you got to tell them about it. And that's one thing that I'm seeing across the industry, internally here as well. Communication is not guaranteed.
Communication is
right?
key.
It is key. You can't assume. We can draw that with review if you do the whole diagram of assume, but we can assume that people know what we're talking about. But saying, hey, we're going to create a studio session for this project, cool. A lot of folks won't have maybe the humility to ask, like, well, what the heck's a studio session? What am I supposed to be doing in here? Where's the file? How do I use it? Maybe we start, advocating for, this is the review process. Let's have a meeting about it or a document about it saying this is when we're going to upload, use the statuses in the studio window as well. That would be a pitfall. And just get everybody on the same page, pun intended, to know what to expect from each other in the review process. I think for far too often, we don't say like, yeah, I'll get those over to you. Okay, well, are you going to get them over to me from carrier pigeon or Bluebeam, or is it going to be a scan and an email? Is it up in ACC? Like, probably in that process, especially for disconnected teams that aren't under the same roof, say, this is what we're going to do. Whoever's loading up the PDF into the session needs to make sure the statuses are in it. Good reminder there, Bob. And then get those PDFs or get those statuses saved in the profile. Tell everybody about the statuses. Like, there should be a standard operating procedure about how you want your reviews done.
Yeah, and that's why there should be a drop page sometimes at the front screen, like Jason was saying earlier, making sure people know the process. Or if that's why I think a drops page is always good. But whatever, from a status perspective, the profile user who uploads into the session will adopt those statuses. So just being aware of that. Too many PDFs. So being aware that sessions, typically folks use this and upload brand new PDFs into an existing session. Be aware that there is no great organization in the documents area to use this as that, because it's meant to mark up the current state of the current documents. So if you needed to add brand new sheets to it, you would either remove the old sheets or use Studio Projects if you're using this as kind of a ongoing review. So let's say I sent this back to Jason, he completed the markups and he was getting ready to submit his new set. I wouldn't want him to add a brand new set into here, especially if they were separate pages or something like that, because it just muddies the water. I would maybe save this out as to somewhere local on my desktop and then upload the brand new set back into here. You can still keep the active session, but just removing the documents so people aren't wondering which one's the latest and the greatest. The other way to do that is, if this is going to be an ongoing reviewable area, is to initiate a studio project with those documents so that you can then do slip sheeting, right? So a lot of folks aren't doing enough slip sheeting. And one of those could be, again, from this perspective. Another one would be no field feedback, so they don't get the latest and greatest documents. So being able to make sure that those field teams, when they're out there, so this is taking it out of the reviewable purpose, and then, hey, we're reviewing these in the field, and making sure construction is going on time. And basically, from that perspective, making sure those folks are synced with the latest document set. So the latest revision or the latest set is key for those folks, especially when the whole new mobile app, not when it is usable right now, Out in the field, right, those folks are going to have easier access to the latest and greatest PDF set, and making sure that you're following suit with, hey, the current document of the current state is the one that's uploaded into sessions. So no bringing those old habits of trying to make this as adding multiple document sets in here, trying to navigate the latest and greatest. That should be the one that's in here, right? So feedback loops.
Doug was mentioning that we talk about getting people into statuses, and he's having a hard time getting people to draw a straight line. Just hold down shift and it locks it, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. There is a technical expectation that we're not level setting, right? We assume that you know how to draw a straight line. We assume that you know how to flip pages. We assume that you know how to do some basic things that we've been doing for years at this point, but people who are new to review or even the digital review process aren't familiar with. I opened up an ACC review this morning, and I was lost for a bit. I didn't know how to flip pages because I'm so used to looking down, like in review, where it's on the top bar in ACC, right? So there is that platform unfamiliarity. How's that for a word? That makes stuff tricky sometimes. So maybe it is something that internal lunch and learns or process documents or something to help
this
people.
This just looks so bad.
Yeah, we're very, very biased. But I'm glad you feel that way.
Well, look, like I have to scroll in. So bold.
Yep. So right now, Michael's reviewing a PDF in ACC.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyways, yes.
It's a little slower. It's a little clunkier.
I want my mini map. Thank you. So yeah, there is ACC for this document review process. This is my thing. If I were using Autodesk Construction Cloud, which I do use, I wouldn't be using it for PDF review because there is a model, right? So in my opinion, ACC shouldn't even be in that competitive ranking system because it's not built for PDFs, right? In my opinion, if you're doing
built for everything,
if you're doing reviews, you should be doing it in 3D in coordination perspective. Like I can be out in the field as construction's happening. I can look at the model itself versus having to go through and look at the PDF set, right? If I needed to reference a detail, right? Yeah, detail sheets could be in here, but I'm not looking at a plan set, right? In plan view when I can go through and just look at a model directly from my phone in the field. And then if it's not being constructed appropriately, right, I can come to an area here and address it with an issue versus going through and making a markup, right? This is what this solution is built for, right? I can go through here and say that there is a design issue. Well, now it's not. Now there's a building code issue for this, and I'm attaching it to a member and assigning it to somebody. You could still do issues on a PDF, but why would I be marking up as on a PDF out in the field when I have this already built? Right? Like if you're using, in my opinion, Autodesk Construction Cloud, you should be using the workflow that it's I'm not going to say that it's meant to because it's like you can upload PDFs, but what is more effective in our digital world, right? This is where it's going to move to. I don't know how quickly, but we'll be marking up a model, not a 2D plan set. So,
and that's the hard part because a lot of we've got a generational issue here. I'll call it out, right? Folks have been looking at 2D plans for years, and that's what they expect because that's what the jurisdictions expect, right? Not all jurisdictions have adopted the model-based design review yet, but it is coming. This thing that you're seeing on the screen is going to be commonplace soon. That's where the industry is pushing everybody. That's what the the president, we've talked about this before with all the digital design review and digital stuff. It's coming. You got to get on board. It's not perfect though. As Neil mentioned, the ACC markup tools are not as user friendly. Download the PDF, mark it up in Bluebeam, and then upload the new file. Like, you can do that, but you know, it's a little bit of a space race again. What's going to be the proper workflow?
That's what I was saying. Because like, if you come over here, like the markups aren't. This is what you get in comparison, right? And it's marking up as an image.
Yeah. However, you take this over to Forma, and that's a whole other conversation about where reviews are. But that's technically outside of the ACC realm.
What do you mean Forma?
Didn't I show Forma before? And the new markup capabilities in Forma?
Oh, you're talking about, but that's
the board.
That's different. That I wouldn't even say that's competitive, because that's only for SD phase. Like that tool is built just for SD. Now they bridged that over to ACC. I mean, you can mark up simultaneously in this thing too. Like you could be in the same set and marking up, but you're not collaboratively marking up.
True.
But Forma would be like an SD phase, right? Like in a board, I don't constitute that as a PDF.
You can put PDFs on there though. You can bring your PDFs, you can bring your ACC models, and then you can bring it all in one spot. Have everybody go over it on one board, and then go there.
But
it is a little bit more fun.
Phase.
No,
I mean if
you could have a blank Forma model and just use the board.
Do you think people would migrate all the way over there just to mark up? Yeah,
no. Forma's not even getting the traction that they had hoped, but a boy can dream.
Yeah, in my opinion, it was because Forma is a comparative product to, for all of you out there that may not understand what Forma is, SketchUp, right? Which is a well-known product in our industry. So it would be a direct comparative. There's more things, obviously, because SketchUp is an old solution, but comparative product to SketchUp, which just gave me flashbacks to having to build a whole Broadacre city in SketchUp and just crashing all the time, which was terrible in school.
Back when SketchUp was free, though, man, it was fun.
Yeah.
I did some cool exhibits in that back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, we did a lot of our stuff for 3D printing when it first came out back in the day, using SketchUp. So, okay, moving forward. So you have measurements in here as well. So if you wanted to calibrate this, set the scale, it looks like, I guess you can calibrate between 2 points. That's cool. I
don't remember seeing that before.
Yeah, me neither. Feet, fractions, precision 1. Cool. So now you can come in here and measure as well. So if I wanted to do a straight line measurement, you can. So again, this is marking up as a
It's not
image,
snapping like Bluebeam
so
would.
it won't snap. Yeah. So it won't snap. Is it shift? I don't think they have. Is it control? Nope. Okay. So I guess I just have to hope.
There's no ortho lock?
I just tried control shift. Alt would be the next one. Maybe space. Oh. Space just stops it from moving. Okay. So I'm hoping for the best here. So
yeah, but that just moved between 9.7, 9.8, and 9.9.
Hey, whoa, come on. I tried my best.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
The one cool thing is that you can like reference other things. So the ability to attach metadata to things that exist in Autodesk Construction Cloud would be beneficial. You could stamp in here as well, but I don't have any stamp templates, so that's that. Pictures, you can't add metadata. It looks like it's, so the way they do pictures is to add I guess there's already a lot. Okay, cool.
Are these your photos?
No, this is probably Kyle. So
That's
I'll
cool.
add that. So these are already existing photos. I guess you would just upload brand new, right? They have a photo icon. So that's cool because then you don't have to worry about why doesn't Bluebeam just do that for their web-based app? Because right now they only have the drag and drop. Like
very organized.
Just give us the photo icon and then attach it somewhere else. But anyways, the ability to do photos, you could essentially do these on your phone, by the way. Anything I'm doing here, actually, let me make sure. Do you have the ACC app downloaded?
I don't think I do. I think
should,
before I was on my sabbatical, I went a little purge happy and got rid of all my work apps on my phone.
And then you just didn't re-download it back.
I forgot about it.
Hold on, let me sign in. Those folks wondering what I'm doing, I'm not texting for you all. Just be aware that I am signing in because we have.
Now would be a good time for me to text you something very inappropriate or silly, and that way we can judge your response live.
Yeah, I just oh, come on.
So while Michael's looking that up, Bob mentions you can also use the comments feature in the free online Autodesk viewer. He uses that viewer with GCs and clients all the time. Yeah, that's a good way to do it too. I think at the end of the day, we're still at a spot where you still need multiple tools for the job. Gross.
Yeah, I have. Let me see. I guess I needed to. I thought I downloaded that project. Let's just view this one. Oh, I have to sync data. I thought I had Kyle's Lee's. Here it is. So let me click this. You have to download it. So I'm clicking download to device. Great. Whatever. It's actually pretty quick. It's like downloading super quick. I just want to see if the markups will work. What's new?
What is new?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm reading this thing in here. I could take a photo, work statuses. There's a bunch of issues, so you can see all your issues. You can create a form. Let me go to sheets, shop drawings, no sheets, files, project files. That's where I want to go because I want to go to my specific structural file. These are all downloading, but this PDF download. Yes, so out in the field, you could essentially mark up as well. There is the photo icon, which was the same we just saw. So what don't I have on here? I can do issues. I can do measurements. Yeah, I have all the same markups. Cool. Can I view this model? Your file is being downloaded. Leave this dialog open. Cool. So I know you can view the model because I've already done that. So yeah, you can measure out in the field. You can view your model. You can make issues in it. That's why I was saying there will be no need for this, in my opinion. You can use a model. Maybe you need them for like the fabrication details, for like connections specifically. Yeah, probably there until we create a better streamlined process to have higher LOD in Revit models that aren't slowing them down. But again, this won't be as necessary, and you can do this from the field as well if needed. I don't know. I don't know the answer to the question that I just asked myself, which is what license you need to access in the field. So I'll leave that hanging because it is more costly, right? Either way, a docs license, if you need the bare minimum, unless you have an AEC collection, is around $700, let's just say 800, round up, a year, versus review, which their highest cost tier is 400. So everyone would need to have access to a license in order to even get access to things that are in here. So pivot back.
Yep. So there was a thing that I saw the other day. There's a different collection. So not just the AEC collection, but there's a new VDC collection in the Autodesk world that will also include docs. So
wait, is that out now?
I thought so.
Did you see this somewhere where we shouldn't even be talking about it?
Probably. But I saw there was a new type of collection that included more design review, VDC type of stuff. And I was pretty sure it was active like yesterday. So yeah, good times.
This just says AEC collection.
Cool. Then ignore me.
Oh, maybe here's a bundle overview.
It's almost
That's
2022.
back in 2020.
What? I'll find
All right.
it.
Maybe there's something coming out. So we didn't look at that and we didn't talk about it. So,
Yeah.
but going back into here, yeah, sessions again being one of the better solutions for review processes on portable document formats, right? So that's where we're at in the digital age. And instead of having to go through and submit a email to go through and review, we use this internally here. Jason was just talking about his team using it. And as always, you can share this via a web now. So folks that don't even have a license, instead of even installing review, they can just go through and click on the web link. And that way they can go through and have access to it. And that's because they give you have been invited. And I don't want that. I just want this email link here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Or join on the web.
Yeah, so you would be able to join this on the web. You would just have to sign in. So if you're wondering, hey, I sent this to somebody, what are they going to see? This is what they're going to see. They would just sign up here. If they already have one, they could just sign in. Signing up is free, so they just create a Bluebeam ID. Highly recommend if your folks are using like a specific email address, that email address for folks that already have Bluebeam becomes convoluted when you try to create two Bluebeam IDs. So meaning if I created a session and I have this other email address, it's a long way to get things migrated into a different Bluebeam ID because they're two separate accounts. So just be aware of that when people are signing up. But this is one way to collaborate with folks, even if they don't have a license. What are some other things? Auditing, so making sure folks are going through and commenting from their specific markups, and generating reports would be another one. So Review does have that option. You can go through and generate any reports you need to from any markups that have taken place on the PDF. So that's a little bit underrated things, folks still when they transition into Bluebeam. I have this conversation all the time. They are visually representing the markups and not having any of the metadata that's associated to it used to their benefit, right? So again, being able to come into here and do PDF summaries, do specific exports. This is all beneficial to the team members, again, to make sure that happens. Perfect. Next one is being able to go through and ask questions. So there is that portion built into here. You can always right click on any markup and reply. And specifically in sessions, you do have the option to go through and use the chat feature. So whenever you need to go through and chat and comment with other folks, you do have that option as well. I haven't been monitoring the chat, so let's see. Did anyone have any questions about ACC?
Negative.
Yeah, SketchUp was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Except when you were using too big of models.
True.
Mine always crashed. Maybe it was just the educational computers.
It could be. Definitely could be.
Yeah. Autodesk Viewer. Autodesk Viewer, though, only lets you see the model. Autodesk Viewer doesn't give you access to Autodesk Construction Cloud. So just be aware of that. And I know we haven't shown much of ACC, but if anyone ever has questions about ACC, feel free to ask. We do have that option to go through and show this. I am not very well versed in build, cost management, or takeoff. My world lives here. So if anyone does have any questions about these, we can always bring that back up. What else? Yep, cool. So we talked a lot about the new transition going from paper, is what Jason talked about, but I went from the email aspect, right? So we talked about going through of just emailing these back and forth, printing them out as well, wasting paper, ink costs, and now in this digital workflow, there is also a way to do submittals through here. So if you ever wanted to, you could submit documents using projects and have approval stamps in there as well. Now, the great thing about projects is you can actually create sessions from projects. So in order to go through and do that, all you have to do is select a PDF that lives in projects and have it bring into your PDF, which this one, I've already done it for these two. But basically, you just right click and you can say share or have it brought into the session or create new session if there has been a session created specific for this project. And any PDF in this project can be brought into a session. The great thing about that is once the review is done, you can then check it back in, do any new slip sheeting you need to, and then bring it back into a new studio session. The only caveat is, be aware, any markups made on the previous documents, once it's brought back into the session, no one owns them, so you can't remove them, or whoever even made it originally can't change anything about them because they are not owned anymore. They were from the original document being uploaded into the session itself. So to mitigate that, you can either remove all of them or have layers associated to them. So again, proper markup review processes in place when you're getting ready to make those markups, right? Now, there is revision history, so that's another great thing. People don't have to worry about the latest and greatest when they're in a project. But same thing if you wanted to upload a submittal, you can upload documents into here. And I think you can upload documents from your phone. So like, hey, I have this document that I need to upload into here. Do I have that option? Which I probably don't on my free app. Yeah, I would have to log in and it's going to bump me out. We'll have to table that to see if you have that option on your paid for app on your phone for that ability to upload from your phone as well. Like, hey, I'm out in the field. I need to just upload this document. Already had it on my phone, which I don't know how many people already have documents on their phone. So like, I don't know.
Maybe if you got something emailed to you, you're going to download it from your email and then go and like, again, we're trying to avoid that whole multiple platforms of communication.
Yeah.
Right. Just put it all there. But we work across teams all the time who don't all have Bluebeam. They don't all have Autodesk. They don't have different things. So,
oh, I guess that doubled me down. Let's see.
Well, that's an interesting, interesting note. This combination doesn't look right. Not your password or user.
It's way too long. I don't know who makes their passwords that long. But yeah, basically you do a submittal through here. So like in projects, you could create one, but you could also come into MCR here and I can upload files. So this would be a way to do submittals out in the field via a web browser, right? You'd walk into the what do they call those field shops? The field building.
Shop drawings.
The field building. That's what I'm saying. You'd walk into the field. Yeah, there you go. And then you'd log into the computer that's in there, the laptop, and then upload a submittal. So yeah. But yeah, so this is that ability to use it via web. Same thing with this desktop application. Again, there's just some different workflows. I had a lot of alerts. Why when you hit dismiss all, like, why do they pop back up as not being reviewed? Like, if I dismiss all these alerts, like, don't ever show me them again until a new alert comes up. Oh, Microsoft. Okay. So moving forward, again, you do have those options to come into here and review these. So, and upload them from here and in the field. So they're one and the same. Whatever I upload into here will upload directly into my projects that lives in here. So I don't have to worry about where they're logging into. And actually, look at that. I think they might have done something. I'm in projects. Oh, did I just close it? That's probably why. I was like, oh, it's working. I can be in the web-based app. It's because I closed it. So, so now I can be back into here because it would always kick me out if I was logged in and in sessions in the cloud app, but also the desktop application. Just didn't like that. Maybe it lets you for projects, not sessions, because sessions is working simultaneously, so it wouldn't know how to co-author through one app and the other one. Probably. Yeah. What else do you got?
I don't know. I think we bounced all over the place today because we didn't plan for this one as much as we should have. But I think we were just scratching the surface on where we are now, where we started, and where we want to be. I do think that digital design review is getting more powerful, but I wonder how Bluebeam's going to handle that. Will it be able to ever consume its own models? Will it rely on 3D PDFs? Will we have to do different things? How do we future-proof review workflows? But I also know that it's going to take years, even though the plan is to have things rolling by the end of this year. It's going to take years for the industry to get caught up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we see, like, things being rolled out, like you were saying, the reprimandum, however you say it, is going to be rolled. Thank you. That's going to be rolled out soon, but again, well, not soon. It's rolled out, but like, when is it going to be required and actually implemented? Right? We have these mandates and things that are rolled out, but obviously, if there's no directive action of this is how it's going to be done, it's going to take some time, right? So with that being initiated, like, what is the overall best solution for this in the industry currently, especially the AEC industry, specifically with the added O into it as well? There is no other solution out there that is really built for what we do. It complements what we do, right? From a portable document format at its grassroots, because that there isn't a transition to 3D modeling being a deliverable. It's a digital PDF, right? So we're still in a 2D portable document format, which the only solution out there that marks up a PDF as a PDF is Bluebeam, right? ACC, as you saw earlier, it's an image. So there's no, if I print it out, those markups are rasterized. There's no metadata associated to any of that information. It's just a image. So being aware that the best solution out there that's built for what we do in the industry is Bluebeam currently. I don't want to come back to this video in 10 years and we're like, remember when you said that?
Right. But yes, we have some bias working where we do and being exposed to what we've got. But
well, I use
I
both,
mean,
so
yeah,
I mean, Bluebeam's just better.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to have to use an A product. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. That is, I guess for some people, it's probably good enough. Cool. I don't like good enough. I like the best.
Mm-hmm. Well, heck, we are going to be working on a new list of topics for the rest of the month and beyond. If you, as always, if you've got ideas that you want us to cover specifically, drop us a line, put stuff in our LinkedIn group, put it in the chat. We will start to compile them and put down sessions. If you've got a cool workflow or anything that you want to share, come join us. We're more than willing to help share our platform to elevate your workflows and have this be community based. At the end of the day, that's why we started this whole thing over 4 years ago, was to build a Bluebeam user community and get some knowledge share out there. There are other sources, of course. If MCR isn't always your thing or you want more, of course, you've got over 200 episodes on the YouTubes, but there's also community.bluebeam.com, Chapter 2. Unbound is coming up soon in September. If you really want the community overload, I tell you what, I know Michael and I are super excited for that. See all of you again and learn some stuff ourselves and meet Steve Wozniak. I mean, come on now.
I know.
Cool. So it's going to be a good time. Now's a really good time and I think to wrap up today's episode, I think what I wanted to accomplish today was that your old workflows aren't perfect. And if you've got a perfect workflow, it's still never perfect, right? Things are evolving greatly right now, and it's okay to be open to other solutions. We just need to be open to it. Like I said, when we started, I'm reviewing a scan of a hand marked up PDF that is already in the studio session. They didn't want to use Bluebeam for it. They wanted to do it the old-fashioned way. And now it's like, this is a lot more time on my part that I wasn't planning on. And I can't read the writing. And it's been highlighted over. And your boy's having a rough day already. So if we got better with our design review, if we got better, or at least better aligned, whether that be through communication, processes, whatever, we could be saving ourselves a ton of time and frustration.
100%. So with that,
I won't see you next week. I will be down in Arkansas, but Michael will hold down the fort as always. We've got some good stuff coming up as usual. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah. Have a great week, everybody.
Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of the other content on our channel.